Hey guys, Michigan Prepared here. Listen, I know you guys kind of want your dose of daily doom and gloom, what's going on with the war. I really don't have anything on the war for you at the moment. I'm working on that. However, I got something a little more troubling on my mind. Something that was discovered today. You guys remember the train derailment in Palestine, Ohio? Palestine, however the hell it's pronounced. Anyway, guys, when it came to the controlled burning of the rail cars to get rid of the chemicals, the vinyl chloride, not to mention, everything that leaked into the soil, etc., etc. Well, they removed tons of the dirt that they thought was contaminated to go have it incinerated. However, there are certain compounds that will not incinerate. They're just going to be there. And a couple of the places that are incinerating the contaminated soil have massive amounts of violations as far as not filtering their stuff properly, and when they incinerate stuff, carcinogens and whatever else get into the atmosphere. Okay, now with that out of the way, you guys please follow me here. Stay with me. Please don't click off the video. Stay with me. This is really important stuff because there is 10 states affected. I urge you guys to please stay with me. So let me find it here. Yeah, I actually printed some stuff off to read to you guys. Okay, here's... When you burn, such as they did the rail cars in East Palestine, when you burn certain chemicals, they turn into dioxins. D-I-O-X-I-N. Dioxin. You guys can look that up if you'd like. I'm going to post a few things up on the screen as well as read you guys a few things. Now, the problem with dioxin is that when you burn vinyl chloride, it turns into a dioxin. If you guys are unfamiliar with dioxin, again, I urge you, let me see if I can find... Alright, I'll read you this one first. Dioxins basically turn into Agent Orange, which they used, I do believe, in the U.S. government used in World War II, I think it was. It was sprayed in Vietnam from 62 to 71. Anyway, when you burn vinyl chloride, it turns into a dioxin. Dioxin meaning Agent Orange. Mixture of herbicides that the U.S. military forces sprayed in Vietnam from 62 to 71 during the Vietnam War, for the dual purpose of defoliating forest areas that might conceal Viet Cong and North Vietnamese forces, and destroying crops that might feed the enemy. The defoliant, sprayed from low-flying aircraft, consisted of approximately equal amounts of the unpurified butyl, whatever. And there's a huge word I can't even pronounce. I ain't even gonna try it. But for the short term, it's Agent Orange. Also contains small variable portions of 2378 tetro something. Basically dioxin, commonly called dioxin, which is a byproduct of the something. Again, big words I can't pronounce. But it is highly toxic, even in minute quantities. Let's see. The chemical dioxin and Agent Orange can remain toxic in soil for several decades. Soil samples have now been analyzed from both the areas that were heavily sprayed and the former American military bases where Agent Orange and other chemicals were stored to be handled. Dioxin is not, pay attention to this, dioxin is not deliberately manufactured. It is it is the unintended byproduct of industrial processes that use or burn chlorine. It is also produced when chemicals such as vinyl chloride are burned, such as occurred in East Palestine. Now, I got a slightly longer one to read to you guys. This is the scary part. All right, the decision to release a burn. Let me reread that. The decision to release and burn 5 tanker cars of vinyl chloride and other chemicals at the site of a 38-car derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, just over 3 weeks ago, unleashed a gigantic cloud of particulates that enveloped surrounding neighborhoods and farms in Ohio and Pennsylvania. You guys remember the picture of that huge dark black cloud? It is well documented that burning chlorinated chemicals like vinyl chloride will generate dioxins. Dioxin is the name given to a group of persistent, very toxic chemicals that share similar chemical structures. The most toxic form of dioxin, again another big word I can't pronounce, tetrachlorobenzo or something, P-dioxin. It is classified as a TCDD. It is more commonly recognized as a toxic contaminant found in Agent Orange at the Love Canal. Anyway, let me reread that. Dioxin, or TCDD, is more commonly recognized as the toxic contamination found in Agent Orange. Now there's 10 states, guys. I think yesterday the dam in Ohio broke, okay, with all the rain and snow and the storm that blew through. Anyway, the dam broke, basically flooding out the river. And if you guys know anything about the Ohio River, it flows into the Mississippi River. There's 10 states that are completely contaminated. A lot of these states that depend on the Ohio River and the Mississippi River use the water for farming and livestock and their houses and everything else. This stuff stays around for decades, guys. Cannot be incinerated. And even if it is incinerated, like they've done or are planning to do, these incinerator companies have a lot of violations. If they're to incinerate it, guess what's going up into the atmosphere, guys? I highly recommend you guys get a respirator. One of the states highly affected is Indiana. And I traveled to Indiana, and I had noticed that when I got down there was a certain area was bright and sunny, okay, guys? And I do realize that as you travel, storms happen faster or come and go. You might be, say, leave Michigan, it's bright and sunny, get down to Indiana, it's dark and cloudy, whatever the case may be. I was driving through Indiana, and I could see on the horizon that it was a little bit darker. As I entered the darker area, it was like hitting a light switch immediately. It went from light to dark. As soon as it did, there was like a mist in the air, and it had a really funky smell and taste, like you could almost taste the air, and it was nasty. I don't even know how to describe it, guys. It was pretty bad. And then a buddy of mine from Michigan, he got a hold of me. He's like, "Have you seen the fog going on outside?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, I'm down in Indiana. I don't know what you're talking about. And he sent me a picture, and the fog was doing something really funky. And he says that it's got a burnt rubber what did he describe it as? Burnt. I can't remember. It was like a. Oh God, I can't think of what it was called. Anyway, whatever this Agent Orange is, it apparently has a similar smell. Now, I don't know what's going on, guys, but a very, very large portion of our country. I mean, granted, yes, I know there's 50 states, but a lot of our farming states are being destroyed, guys. A lot of our central states that produce, Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, Ohio, I mean, you name it, all the way down to the Gulf, down there by Texas, whatever, they're all going to be contaminated. There's going to be, I don't know if they're testing the water or not. What really sucks, guys, is the EPA is not testing for these dioxins. And I think they're scared to test for these dioxins because they know that they're going to find them and that the public is going to be enraged. For the longest time, guys, I thought we had to worry about the war, cyber attacks, power grid going out, nuclear war. But it seems to me that, you just can't make this stuff up. Population control, guys. I really suggest that you guys find a very clean form of water. I really suggest you guys stock up on activated carbon, charcoal, whatever, to filter water. And at this point, you guys may have to filter it several times through several different carbon filters. Have your primary, your secondary, your third, your fourth, your fifth, and then drink the water. That way it's filtering through all this activated carbon several times to pull out all these chemicals and these viruses, and just to be absolutely certain, guys. In my opinion, I think we're being played. I don't believe this stuff is by accident. You guys really need to have a backup of food. If I suspect what I suspect, I really think that the shelves this spring, the summer, maybe more so towards the fall and next winter, I think the shelves are going to be really bare. I think it's going to be really hard to find vegetables. I think it's going to be really hard to find a lot of stuff, guys. You really need to stock up on your seeds now while you can. Heirloom seeds, they're non-GMO. You can, take seeds from plants that you grow and reseed them. I really suggest getting some non-GMO seeds. I really suggest you guys stock up on your beans and rice. I really suggest you guys stock up on your activated carbon. And once again, I urge you guys to get over to parcelsafety.com. Again, yes, I'm sponsored by them. Yes, they gave me a free mask. Are they paying me to push their company every week? No. The free mask was all I got. They're not paying me to push them, but I believe in their masks that much. I highly urge you guys, at the very least, to get over there and get a half respirator, that just covers this much of your face. Get a half respirator with the activated charcoal or activated carbon filters. I'll put a couple up on the screen that I suggest you guys get. But I suggest you guys get one for every member of your household. I don't know by the photos how large that black cloud was after they burnt those tanker cars over in Palestine, Ohio, whatever. But it looked pretty damn big. With our air currents and our jet stream being all messed up, and wind and everything else blowing in every which way direction, I believe that pretty much everywhere is going to be contaminated. Regardless if there's going to be a shortage or not, guys, I really urge you guys to grow your own meat. Raise your own meat. Chickens, rabbits. If you guys are in the position to have a pig or a few pigs, raise them. If you guys are in the position to have a cow, raise one. It's going to be a lot of work, guys. It's going to be a lot of money. If you guys are in the, if you guys are able to have a garden, grow one. You can take samples of your dirt, your soil, and send it into a lab to see if it's contaminated at all. And I suggest you guys do it. I suggest you guys get water test kits. And even though we can still go to Walmart, Meijer, Sam's Club, whatever the case may be, and pick up whatever we need whenever we want it, I suggest you become self-sufficient. Go to work, pay your bills, do whatever you got to do. But when it comes to your food, guys, make sure it's something you produced. Something you know where it came from. You know what it was fed. You did the research. You tested your soil. You know everything's good. I have a hard time believing that the food that's fixing to hit our shelves late this year isn't going to be contaminated in one way or another. I suggest you guys live 50-50. And what I mean by that is you can live modern the way we are right now. Our electronics, our vehicles, or whatever. But I suggest you go back to the old ways, like our great-great-grandparents did, with raising their own food, growing their own food, canning their own food, storing their own food, prepping, you name it. It's getting really hard to trust anything, guys. Anyway, with that being said, this video is getting long enough. You guys usually don't stick around for the whole video, but I really suggest you get what you need to get. Times are getting real scary. There's more and more contamination. There was also another train derailment in Ohio again today. I don't have any news on that, but I'm going to try to look it up. But these dioxins that are in our air, soil, they can be in the soil for decades, guys. Did you know that over 43,000 fish, animals, that's including deer, raccoons, possums, whatever goes to that river to drink, guys, is dead. They're all gone. And this was, the number's 43,000. That was as of February 23rd. 23rd or 24th. I'll post it up here on the screen. I know I screenshot it. But as of today, how many are there? I don't know, guys. But just in a couple short days, 43,000 fish, birds, deer, whatever, have been found dead. That's a lot. Just imagine what it's going to do to you. Get prepared, guys. With that being said, you guys keep your heads on a swivel. If I get anything else that's really detrimental, I'll be right back on here as soon as possible. I love you all. Keep your heads on a swivel. Stay safe out there. Use your head. Think clearly. Mission prepared out.